Hello. Today when I finish painting, this little blank canvas will look like this. Now it may not be done for the duration. I might continue painting on it. I started doing a little series of hummingbirds, which was painting the background blue with a little bit of red, and then I'm going to put in focus things in the foreground. And I started one I can show you in a bit here, but I also have Columbia River Gorge paintings that I've done on these little small canvases, 3x4. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. And today we'll be using these supplies, which include burnt umber ultramarine, titanium white, phthalo blue, red shade, phthalo blue, green shade. So I'm going to start out with the white, put that on this little canvas and get it started. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with me. Welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I love painting, and these are super satisfying to do because you get them done so quickly. Yeah, they're popular, and I'm glad you're with me, and I hope you're painting with me. Yeah, you could just paint step by step with me. So I'm going to mix the colors. I'll show you what I'm doing. I've got the titanium white. I've got the phthalo blue. This is the red shade. And you can tell it's a little warmer than the other one. And I'm going to I don't want it to be that dark, so I will wipe off the brush and go in the water. And I will come back, and when I get that paint, I'll add white to it. But I'm going to mix the phthalo blue green shade and white. And this is usually the color I use for skies. So that's plenty of mix-in. I don't need to do much more for this tiny canvas. And just think about how the sky might look in the background. We don't need it to be detailed. It's just going to be the background sky, and I don't want any texture. Texture is not my friend right now because the foreground is going to be the hummingbird, not the sky. There we go. Rinse my brush off, go into the red shade, phthalo blue. And I'm just doing this for fun. This is not any sort of formula. I just thought, oh, that might make the sky look kind of interesting. I'll use both of them, you know? So that's what I'm doing. And the 1-inch brush is really easy. It's really easy to cover the whole canvas pretty quickly. There we go. And I have a Bible verse today I wanted to share. I made these little cards that remind me of God's Word. And I can look at them. I can read them in the morning. I can read them at night. It's meditating on God's Word. And on this particular one, I have, Jesus came that I may have and enjoy life and have it to the full in abundance till it overflows is what some of the when you read. But in this particular one, it was Jesus came that I may have life and have it abundantly. And that means God wants us to succeed and have a good life. God's Word's very encouraging to me. It always has been. Put a little bit more of that in there. And then I'm going to put some of the red in here too. I'm going to pretend like it's background flowers for the hummingbird. That's going to be coming in. And I have an image of it on the computer. So you can't see it. But I can give you an idea of what it looks like. I went on a website that gives out free photos, and there's the little female hummingbird eating. So I have the color image of it on my computer. I'm looking at that. I'm going to get some quinacridone red and put that onto the palette where the white is. I just need a drop. Just a drop. There we are. And I'll put this where the flower's going to be in the picture, where the hummingbird's going to be eating from flowers. I don't need it to be the one in focus. I certainly don't need it to be right up front there. It's going to be behind them, so behind the bird, so it's not going to be the focal point right now. It's just background. So how would they look in the background? Maybe they would come out, how would they come out? Like maybe like that. And we'll just blend it too. We're just going to play with this paint. There we are. No pressure. Looks like somebody's hand coming in. It's not going to be getting the hummingbird. It'll be fine. This could be more flowers. Here we are. Turn it back. I'm going to get them over the side as well. There we are. Yeah, that is kind of like a hand flower, but it's okay. I'll have flowers in the foreground to take your eyes off of this more. What I need to do is blend the color between the two, and it's easily done by just touching the color, but just touching the area between the two of them. So I'm just touching with the brush those two at the same time. Wipe off the excess paint because I'm building up paint on this. I don't want to add to it on here. And we'll make that hand fade out a little bit. There we are. And I will have, like I said, I'll have in focus flowers in the foreground, no problem. There we are. Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse off my brush, set it down, and I was gonna show you the one that I did freehand. I just started painting it. So it's different looking than the actual hummingbird, but when I first started doing this kind of thing, I just played with it and painted a little freehand hummingbird off of this image. But this one's got more of a, he's got more of a determined eye than the actual hummingbird. And I will finish him later, but I wanted to get a feel for it, and I've got it. I'm gonna get the extra shine part off of there. There's not a lot of hair there, so okay. I think that looks pretty good for the background of this one. And if you wanted to blend it more, you can. You could take a paper towel. Say I wanted this to be more faded, I could take a paper towel and just touch it on there. And it's gonna take it, I took a lot off and left the paper towel image on there, and I don't want that, so I'll blend that. But it's still gonna be a background pink flower. I'm just touching where that image is of the paper towel. I don't want that. Okay, so that's even more blended and pushed back. So I can touch it with the edge. Maybe I'll touch it with the edge of it instead of the whole thing. There we go. And then just make sure this brush is not wet. If it's wet, it's going to take off paint. I don't want it to do that. There we are. Move that paint around. Be a paint pusher. That's what I do, paint pushing. There we are. Yeah, all right. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll leave that background. And then I've got a background I've already stopped on that I can go to. It's kind of like, you know, when they bake something on TV and they pull the one that's already done out of the oven. That's what I'm doing. I'll switch out and use the one that I was gonna finish the other day. I started it and it's begun with, I'm gonna switch them out. It's not quite exactly the same, but close enough. It's close enough to that. So I'm also gonna need tape, and I'm gonna grab that and tape on. If I want to transfer this, I need to tape it, especially for this particular one. So I'm gonna use a smaller one, and I'm gonna put it so that the bird's beak is gonna be in the red, so I can put the red flowers in the foreground. Let's see, how big is he gonna, well, you know what, it doesn't matter. She'll look great no matter where she is. I think right about there is gonna be fine. Where's the top of the canvas? Right there. Yeah, right, and tape that down. There we are. And I will use transfer paper when I am doing somebody's pet, or if I'm doing somebody's face. Oh yeah, I need transfer paper. People for me are not as easy to do as animals or landscape. Landscape's super easy. Landscape is my favorite because it's super easy to do. You really can't go wrong. You could even do a house with some, you know, minor. The image could be just a little bit different than what the actual image was, and it's not going to be so far off that people are wondering, you know, what happened. You know what I mean? But yes, I do that for people and for animals that are pets. Now, if they're animals of the wild, I can do it. I can usually do it just fine. They're very detailed as far as their proportions. So the part I want to get in is the size of the beak, where the eye is, and because otherwise it looks like this guy did, where its eye's kind of determined, which is, you know, it's not bad, but I'm going to put his little beak in, like so. And I will speed this process up because I don't want you to have to sit and watch me do this. These little wings are, let's get those. They're going to be out of focus. There we go. And feet, right there. And if you wanted to, you could use a pencil and go over it again, but I'm good. I see where the eye is, I see where the body is, so I'm just fine to start. I want to get a good black color, so I'm going to mix the two together, burnt umber and ultramarine, till I get a nice black. And when I have that, I'll add white to it to make gray. But for the beak, I'll use the black. Black for the beak. There we are. I think that's pretty close. The way I would check this to see if this is black is I would add white to it and see what color I come up with. And see how close it is to black or gray. If it's a little off, maybe it's a little too blue, it would be good for mountains. And if it's a little too brown, it's going to be fine for this bird. So I'm going to leave this tape on just in case I need it to reset the eye if I lose this place of the eye. But I'm going to go into the white. Yeah, this gray is going to go on the top and on the bottom on her little body. She's also got some green, and I have the green here. It's kind of a bright green, but I'll put it on the list of things to use. But you can, you know, if you're painting with me, you do not have to use what I'm using in the colors. You can use whatever you want. Go right on that line that's the bottom of her little neck. There we are. And then she's got little dots of feathers across the front. And then a little white at the base. But her wings are pretty much this color, maybe a little bit more black. So I'm going to need to blend this out a little bit. And I think that that's going to help me if I put a little bit of the sky color and then blend that line right up against this side. There we are. I don't want to move that line just yet. I'll move it in a minute. There we are. Okay, so I have blue and white on here, and then I'm just blending out the rest of it. I don't want to paint over where I put the line in there of her head. But yes, there we go. Blend that out. That would be with the edge of this brush. I wiped off most of the water. I want to make sure it doesn't have a lot of water on it because it'll pick up the paint. A wet brush will pick up the paint if I want it to. And I don't want to pick up that paint, but I want to blend that line because this is blurry, and this would be easier. This would be an easier thing to do with oil paint. Let me tap right in where that line is. Blend it enough to get it to be sort of out of focus. It'll be out of focus. No. Okay. I'm going to come in here and touch it with it. I'm going to come from the side and touch it with this brush and push it to be, there we go. I just pushed the blue into it, which will blend it a little bit. I want it to be blurry, not so, or just out of focus. It doesn't have to be blurry. We don't want to be squinting our eyes at the painting trying to figure out what it's all about. But I do want to have it be where this wing is out of focus. Okay. So then it goes back. The paint comes back. I'm pulling the black back. There we are. And then I've got this right here needs to be less. I'm going to make it out. I'm going to make it come out less. I'm going to make it less. I've got a wet brush I'm pulling across here, and it's not going to be as dark. There we are. And I'll put some gray in here. So I'm going to grab some lighter gray from this color that I have here. There we are. That's a much lighter gray. That'll be for the wings. And the wings are going to come back. They come back like so, just kind of like so. We don't need a lot of paint. I got a lot of paint going on, but I don't need it. I can go with less. And the wings are going to go back as well. Now I need to blend the line between the two and then pull through where there's little feathers, little feather lines. I'm just touching it. I'm just going to touch it with this fan brush and try to keep the fan brush where I want it, right there. And then I will pull through where the little feathers are. Oh yeah, I got that nice and blended. I'm going to grab the little round brush and go into the black. And they're gray, so we're gonna go dark, or we're gonna go gray, but darker gray than what I had. So I just added a little bit of darker gray to it. And it comes in and around, so his little feathers are around. There we are, around like that. And then in each one. Just going to come all the way down. I'm not doing it all the way down. I'm just doing outside suggestion of it. There we are. There we go. I'm going to go even darker, more gray. Come out and get his little, her, I'm sorry. It's a her. Okay. I go this out as his little wing, her little wings in between. There we go. How about the little wings? There we are. And this will have to be sort of blurred out as well. I'm so glad you joined me today. I'm going back to birds again. I will continue to go back to birds off and on. But I love doing landscapes too, and water. Water's super fun. I can do like a waterfall maybe next time. If you think of something family friendly you want me to paint, I'll do it. Just tell me what it is and I'll do it. Not too into buildings, but I will do them if I need to. I've done them in the past. And so that's another thing. If I do a building that needs to look exactly like the building, I'll probably transfer it in. To me, it's no different than in the olden days when they would take and an image of the image or draw it out and then draw it into little squares so that they got it all lined up with what the image was. I'm pulling through this and blending it out a little bit. Let's come back this way. There we are. Yes, okay. Yes, very good. Okay, so I want to have it be blended down here too, and this is the red shade blue. I always want my acrylic paint to be lighter than what's on the palette, what's on the picture. Let me see how close I am. And then I'm not going to try to rub that off of there or anything. I'm just going to paint over it. If you don't like something, just paint over it. There we go. Just paint right over it. Now I want this edge to be wet so that it'll blend with her little wing. There we go. I got her. Well, yeah, it's all good. There we are. And then this part is the other wing coming in front. So I need to rinse this off and blend out the edge of the blue that I just put in so it doesn't look like a lined blue right there. Right here. Just blend that edge. And then I can touch the edge between the gray and the blue. This is a hummingbird in motion. She's got places to go, babies to kiss, you know, she's got things to do. Yeah, we're just going to tap this. It's going to blend between the two and look like it's more blurry, not like it's perfectly in focus. There we go. This is just a damp brush, and it's the little round, the one that's a good pusher, a 20 round. I think we already got this edge pretty much blended. I think that's good. I can go over this to move that black a little bit. There we are. Clean off my brush. I'm seeing texture right here. I want to pull that. I got it. And then her little wings are kind of see-through, like they're transparent. Transparent gray, that's what it is. I don't want to remove all of it. I think this brush might be a little too fat, a little too round for me to work with. So I'm gonna go for the smaller one. All right, that's good. Using the smallest round brush that I have here. And at the base, it's a lot whiter. Let's just go right in the middle. We don't want it to look like white, so let me blend that in. We'll do it. Get that like that, and this like this. So, what I want to do is use a dry fan brush and pull across that. So my brush has nothing on it. And I'm going to pull from here. It's not the same one I was using before. Just pull it till it blends a little bit. It's going to blend the lines. And put in lighter see-through wings. We've already got gray here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what it is. And then it goes, this part's not sharp either, so I'm going to fix that. But I'm going to pull this across there and get it to be, there we are. That's what we need. This is a bit harsh. I need to take some of it off. And I can do that. I know it's been sitting here, drying. And I'm going to just pull from this side. I'll just keep rubbing it till it starts moving. That little pushing brush would do it really well. I just need it to be blended out a little bit more. It'll be fine. We got that in for her neck. But it will move today because it went on today. So just know that you have the power. You've got the power. You can do it. Just go in here and move it. A Q-tip would work as well. I don't want it completely off. I just want it to be not such a bold line right there. So I'm going to pull across here with a Q-tip, this is definitely pulling some paint. You can see it. And, you know, it's not the end of the world if I don't get it all off of there. I can paint over it. But I want to get some of it off of there. There we are. And I don't want to wipe her face out so I can't see what's on there. Okay, so she's got black. This is black in the foreground, not gray. So we're going to put black there, which is more harsh, I know, but it's little dots of black, her little feathers. There we go. Yeah. And her eyeball, I can put that in. Let me rinse this little round brush off. And we'll start with the little dots. So I've got the black right here. And I think her neck is down a little bit. I don't think it's because she's old. I think it's because she's got her tongue out eating. She's eating this flower, or, you know, the nectar. Just put little dots on here. Let's just put little feathers. And they're just all in a row, so perfectly lined up. That's a little too dotty. Let's make it bigger. Let's make them bigger dots. Again, we have the power. Press down when you're doing your dots and they'll get bigger. If you're not pressing down, they'll stay small. And I'm going to put in her little beak too. That actually looks pretty close to what's there. Might be a little thinner up here. I can thin that out later. But I'm going to go in the water and go into the black burnt ultramarine that I made and paint that little beak on. I'm going to get the beak on there. And it's going to be inside of a flower. So, you know, red is transparent. Yellow is transparent. Black is not. Black is opaque. So I can make that thinner right there. I can push that. That's what I see instantly, is that little lump on the bottom of her beak. She wouldn't have that there. And that's because my brush deposited paint there. We'll fix it. Yep. Just got to come in from the right angle. That could be a tongue. That could be her tongue coming out. But you're not going to see it because there's going to be a flower right over that. So I'm not too concerned about that. We'll put a flower over that and call it good. I'm going to put an eyeball in. Her eyeball. Yeah. It's kind of an oblong shape. And then she has little feet. Her little feet, they're right here. There's one. She's keeping them tucked under so she can eat. And then we're going to go for the second wing. The second wing has a little bit of lighter gray outlining the wing itself. And then, yes, we'll do that. Put that in. It's the first color here. I don't want it to blend with that background, although in the picture it does. And then we're going to put the darker on there too. And can I see the edge of the wing? You know, I think I can see the line of the edge of the wing right here. Get that line in there. And her body is gray. Her tummy's gray, but she's got green on the back, so I won't be concerned about that just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and take off this little bit here. Like that. I'll just wipe that off of there. Same technique as when I make lines thinner. And I'm gonna put the darker gray into here. Black in here. Black and gray, and get that together. Coming right underneath this line. I don't want to take out this line. I want that line to remain there. And of course I'm pressing down, so it's making this line thicker. When I press down, it's going to be thicker. There's where it attached to the body. Okay. I'm going to blend this out a little bit, get it to not be a harsh line. There we are. And then on the other side, it's got the gray, so we're going to put the gray next. Let me get that. We were just in it, and I don't want to use this brush because I want to push the paint around with this one. So I'm going to use the round brush. I won't discuss how long it takes to get these videos ready because I enjoy painting. So that's, you know, I think that's half of it right there. And then after that, I just have to get them to the stage where I can post them on YouTube. And lately I have learned music. I didn't know how to do music before. Now I do. And I will continue. Okay, so this one's a little bit more colorful in the foreground, but we're going to change that because I'm going to add white to it. It's all just a learning process. Let's put a little bit of this with white. And the learning curve is, oh, I don't know. It's challenging. And if you know me, you know I like challenges. So I am in for it, trying to do it, and still able to enjoy life, which is good. Because I paint too when I'm not doing this. Like I paint without the videoing it. But for the most part, I think I'm going to put my videos on Saturday and Sunday for sure, possibly Friday, depending on how many I get done during the week. But I will still be working on videos during the week. It's just going to be less posting, I think, for a bit. change this. I'm just making it thinner. It's not a big chunk of feathers, it's just a little bit of feathers. And then she needs to have her white on her wings. We'll bring her foot back. There we go. She's got it tucked under. There we are. We'll bring her little wings in. So she's got white on the wings. And I think I used the small round. I'm going to do that with light gray. It'll probably look pretty white, but it's going to be light gray. And this wing is turned down a little bit. Hummingbirds are amazing at how they can do like a complete 360 when they're mid-flight. I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing how they're made. Okay, that looks pretty good, and I think this is going to go over her eye. Let me get it. I see it in the picture. Yeah, but I got to get to the point where I can go live. I wanted to go live, but I don't have a moderator so that I can go live. So I haven't taken the jump yet of going live. Yeah, I need to coordinate a moderator. Sounds funny. Moderator. Somebody that's going to be keeping tabs on people interacting with me. So yeah. It's all good problems to have. Okay, so she's got little bits of lighter gray that come down her neck, and then she's got little spots of feathers that I'll put on top of that. May not get to it today, but I want it to be a nice looking painting when I show the painting at the beginning. So I'm going to continue until it looks okay, you know. Okay, so this part of the neck, just below this line, is gray. Let's get some gray in there. I made it darker, and I can just put it gray. Bring this up a little bit. Make her look a little more young. There we are. Put some gray on there, and then she's going to have green on her back. There's a little bit of gray right here underneath her feather, too. There we are. I don't want that to come into focus. Underneath her eye, she has darker gray. Yeah, that's about right. It's going to be about further back. There's a little bit of feathers going back. And then I've got the bright green, and it's usually, you know, it looks iridescent. It looks like she's got, yeah, like her little metallic feathers, you know. That's her underside of her wing. I'm gonna start putting little dots on her head. We'll fix it later if we need to. It'll be fine. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray to it to tone it down. There we are. She's got sort of an olive green on her head. I'll get that. I'm taking off some of the paint here and here because I don't want it to be so textured. There we are. I don't think it starts that high. It goes a little lower. Just get some green on there. It's lower than this part of the wing. You can see a little bit, but not much. Like, there's the wing. There we are. Get that tail. know, at the beginning I said well, I'll have to work on that. It's close enough because we did paint a background similar to this right here. So it's close enough, I think. There's just the one that was taken out of the oven, right? It's the one that's done. Okay. And then we got gray in here, so I'm not worried about that. Now I need to get some gray on her back, which is like a little bit of gray feathers. Right here, we'll just start putting some of those in. Yeah, why not? She needs her feathers to fly anyway. She's gonna need these little feathers covering her up. Hummingbirds are little bedazzled creatures that just, I don't know, I always feel joy when I have them fly by me. I've never been afraid of them. They're just great. I love them. And they're little jewels. There's a famous quote about that. They're little jewels in the air. Put those little feathers in. This is a darker green. I need to wet it down. It is 70 degrees today, but it's humid. It's really humid. And I think that's gonna help it dry quicker. When that happens, I have to have my spray bottle handy. Okay, so this part is drying and I need to move it, and I didn't do that. So I'm gonna see if I can move it. If not, I might have to do parts of it again. I just went on to the next part. Let's see if we can touch that and move it. As we did do it today. And like I said, whatever you do today, well, you can move it if you choose to. Yeah, we just wanted a little bit out of focus. There we go. It's starting to go. Starting to see the sky through it. I don't want to do that as much, but I want that line to be a little bit less sharp. Just gonna pull it right off of that. Oops. My brushes are getting paint on them. Oh well, that's fine. It's okay. It's that off. Yes, we'll put the lighter color on there again. And her head is lovely. I'm just going to keep going on that. So I've got that in there. I'm just going to put some dark gray. Doesn't need to be green, just dark gray on that wing again. And her little feather lines in the foreground, this one's actually, they're a little bit more pronounced. But they're still out of focus. Let's see, are we going the right angle? Nope, because it would be closer to here. So it's going to be closer to here. And then the base, I just need to move some of it, that's all. On this part back here, I don't know, I lost. It doesn't have to have that much definition. I just don't want the sky coming in like it is. I'm gonna get some of the lighter gray. And there's a bit of it down here. And a bit of it here. And then I can move that line that's right here between the two, right here, just touching it. This brush, I did get it wet, but I wiped it off. I've been using this for painting. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna put some light in there. Light would be good, yep. I need to blend this before it dries. Otherwise it will look like a skeleton hummingbird. We don't want that. It should be just right for Halloween, I guess, but that's not what our goal is. There we are. Let's move that line. And a little bit of the definition between the feathers. Because it's like a fan, sort of. Putting it back in. There we are. And it's going to start here and go out. There we are. Closer to here. There we are. Goes out. Okay, I need to blend it before it dries. All right. Looks like I got some green on here. Got to clean that off. And make sure my brush is dry enough that it's not going to pick up paint. They're a pretty good tool for picking up paint. I just don't want to have that happen right now. There we go. Just going to move it. Yeah, all right. And I'll put some up here. And she doesn't have this bright green on her head. This bright green is only on her back. And it also has gray in there. And I've already put a little bit of gray. It's only on her back. There we are. Pick some of that off. Might be a bit dark. Her little dark dots come across. They come across her side cheek here. Let's get that in there. She's got markings there. I don't know if that's how they identify each other, but I don't know that part. I have to watch how would they know, really, how birds identify each other? Or somebody probably figured it out. Oh yeah, she's looking pretty sporty. I'm telling you what, she looks pretty sporty. I'm gonna get some more gray. And put in a little bit of gray at the base of her feathers. And the only reason I'm leaving the paper on here is if I have to put her eye back in, but it looks good so far, I might thin down that line between her eye and her mouth. I think I will. In just a minute here. It's another brush anyway, so I can take this and put it down. Go get that. Tone it down just a little bit with the gray. And I'm going to go thin down the line that's between her eyeball and her beak. Because it doesn't have black on the bottom and top, we're going to make that a little bit thinner. We're just going to make it move. There we are. We kind of want that little bit of a dip in it like it is. There we are. And then same thing on the bottom. If there's any room to do that. I think it looks fine, just like that. And her gray, I'm going to put her gray back in on her beak. There's not a lot of light underneath it, so I'm going to put gray right here. And her eyeball, there's like a little black line that comes out to her beak. There we are. And it's not much bigger. There we are. Okay, clean this off. And her beak is a little bit big at the base. I wonder if I can move that. Let me see. I did put it on today. I should be able to move it. Oh, let's get it out the green first. How about that? Clean that off. Yeah, I got some green on there. That's fine. We'll take it out. I'm going to keep moving this until it moves. It'll be fine. This is just water on this brush. And yes, I started with the beak, I believe. Let's get you to move without taking off the sky. The other alternative I have is back painting with the sky if I wanted to, or leaving her beak like it is. Just a slight bump there. See if I can get that to move out. Or how about this? I will get that to move out. There we go. One way or another. It's gonna go. It's got to go. I'll speed this part up. It's just water on a brush. Nothing to see here, huh? Just something very little. I moved it enough, I think. And then this, I'm gonna move it on this side too. Let's get you to move. And it will be a different color on the beak. I mean, above the beak and below the beak, but right now, this will be fine. Below it, it is white, sort of a white, off-white, which is close to what I have there. It's just a little bit. I'm gonna move that paint. Yeah, she's looking good. She's coming in good. Yeah, their little face comes out past this area here. Yeah, she's looking good. I like how her wings are coming in blurry. And her body here is more of the darker green with gray right underneath that wing. It's certainly not the sky color. There we are. There we are. And in between these is the green on her head, and I think I put that in there, but I'm gonna put a little bit of olive green in there too. Right above her eye, she just has that little bit of green, and then she also has the white line right around her eye. So I don't need it to go past that. There we go. Yeah, she looks pretty cool. I like her. I like her a lot. let's get her to be less of a going out with curlers look. And I can do that by blending the edge of that head because it's kind of feathers. Let me see if I can, I'm gonna use this guy, the one that's the pusher, the little, it's the 20, what are you? You are 20-0, what are you? Oh, I'll put it in the thing, so you'll see. I'm gonna push that one, it'll work. Get it to work on the edge. All right, right there. I'm gonna come right in and paint. So this brush is loaded and it's sharp. I don't know if you can see that. I come right in and paint right up to that part of her head so it'll be sharp. There we go. I don't need her head to be less, which it might be getting less. I could bring it back. But for now, I'm gonna do that on the top because it's the phthalo blue on her beak, maybe a little bit. I can put the pink in later. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I can take it from the other side. I'm going to do that. Rinse this off and take it from the other side with the other brush. The little guy right here. I just have to clean it off. Just get that to sharpen up, huh? Okay, and she's got a little bit more green here. I'm about to put green on there and then put some more green in her head too, but yeah, she's got it pretty good, I think. I can bring her, I think I need to bring her tummy in a little bit. I think that she's probably is going to probably go home and lay eggs is what she's gonna do, but I think I'm gonna bring in her tummy just a bit. So this is phthalo blue and white. So I just need to find the phthalo blue and white on here, and then I'll use that. And I can give her a little bit of a tummy tuck. More white. It's going to be more white because it needs to be lighter than what's on there in order for it to work. Otherwise it's going to dry darker. There we are. And right up to her neck. There we are. Yes, that's good. That's good. So I just need to come in here. Her little feet are right there with feathers. So that's her little foot. There's her other little foot. And then I need to blend this foreground part up. So I'm going to rinse off my brush and do that. And I want to make sure there's not a lot of water on here because it'll pull the paint off. I don't want it to do that. Let's blend you out right here. And this also has the red shade on it. Let's blend this out a little bit. And this has a little spot of something in the foreground. Don't know what that is, but I can make it go away. And that'll be fine. Nobody's gonna miss it. I'll just blend you out, both sides. There we are. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that pink in the foreground right in front of her neck, where I had that. But do you see how the wings are more blurry? That was the goal. I had to work on blending that as I was going, otherwise it wouldn't look like that. And she's not quite done, but she's much closer than she was. I'm gonna blend this out a little bit too. Don't want to use a Q-tip because I don't want to pick up the excess paint. But yes, we have both of the colors in here. This one is the red shade, and it could go right to the base of that. I could do that. Let me rinse this off. There we are. Yeah, that's better. And the shade, I think it's going to be much better. Yeah. We'll blend it out a little bit. It's going to be fine. What I got to remember to do is blend it into the blue. What I got to remember to do is blend it into the blue. Yep. So I'm going to take that other little brush. That'll do it. Right here. And blend that edge. There we go. Yep, and down here too. Very good. And I need to take it off of here. I didn't even notice this was going over it. I can put some gray in place of it. See if I can move you. Nope. It's coming off. That's good. It's coming off. It's moving. Yeah, she looks pretty good. I think that she's good for today. I still have to fill in color. It's not done, but it just needs touch-ups, the last minute touch-ups of it. Where's it gonna go? She has white right past her eye. Comes up and over the eye. Let's go make this less white. Oh yeah, look at her friendly face. And it comes down here too. Like that. And then she's got little rows of feathers that I'll need to put in. I don't have all that in yet. Where's my light source? I think it's a cloudy day. I think it might be overcast. Maybe the sun's not out right now. Direct sunlight anyway. Okay, she's not quite done, but I'm gonna quit for today because I'm past an hour. I wanna fix dinner, and yeah, I've got things to do. So I'm so glad that you joined me. Please subscribe to DK Bowl Chat and share the channel. Share the channel with people that enjoy peaceful, relaxing, narrating while creating art. It's even good for people that don't create art. You know, I am a firm believer that we are all creative because we were created after our creator and in the form of our creator. So we are all creative in some way. Maybe not, maybe it's not painting. Maybe it's something completely different. Whatever it is. I think that it's a good thing to do. As long as it's not hurting anybody, right? Well, I will see you in the next video. And like I said, please share the video. Please share the channel. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a positive comment. I'd love to hear from you. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.